accessible for persons with invisible disabilities.
The Sunflower Lanyard made our journey less stressful, smoother, and more inclusive.
REACH is proud to support the Hidden Sunflower Scheme, which makes the invisible visible. So far, the Nassau Airport Authority and the Nassau Cruise Port are Sunflower certified.
So if you see someone with a sunflower lanyard, always remember to be patient and ask if they need some help. Please be kind and always remember to show respect.
We wish to encourage more hotel operators with amenities such as water parks, restaurants, cinemas, government offices to join this initiative, making the Bahamas a more sunflower-friendly country.
Please feel free to reach out to the REACH office at 328-4123, or you can reach out to the National Commissions for Persons with Disabilities at 396-8700.
Our marine resources were once considered inexhaustible. Conch and reef fish like grouper were abundant everywhere, and it seemed as if the lobster catch would rise forever. But today, there is a downward trend that affects everyone. Researchers say we can reverse the trend by protecting more marine habitats. And the good news is that most Bahamians strongly support efforts to halt further decline. Tripling the size of our network of marine parks will mean more fish and conch for everyone now and for the future, as well as more recreational and ecotourism opportunities. Today, only 10% of our waters are protected. Surveys show that most Bahamians consider protection of our marine environment to be a top national priority. More protection means more benefits for everyone, now and in the future. It's a win-win-win strategy for the economy, for Bahamians, and for nature. Protect our sea, protect our way of life, protect the Bahamas. See the future. Visit Bahamas Protected on Facebook to learn more about marine protected areas.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire news team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. Here's a live look at the Bahamas Tonight coming your way next.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
First at 11. Final preparations ahead of the value-added tax rate being adjusted on food items to 5%. A welcomed adjustment for consumers and Bahamians as the government seeks to offer relief to those struggling. Also, the long-awaited hurricane shelter on Abaco is nearing completion after years of challenges with its timeline. This comes as welcome news to residents ahead of the upcoming hurricane season. And young students being advised on the path to educational opportunities abroad. Compliments of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs' International Scholarship Day. We hear how the program has benefited so many. The Bahamas Tonight at 11 starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Royson Jones, and this is the Bahamas Tonight at 11. Welcome to the broadcast. Grocers across the country are making their final adjustments as the new VAT rates are set to take effect tomorrow. Early this year, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, announced a 50% reduction in the VAT rate on all food sold in food stores, slashing the rate in half from the previous 10%. This new rate is meant to bring economic relief to Bahamians, particularly those facing hardship.
We have been preparing for a while now so that when the 5% kicks in, our point of sale system will automatically be able to generate the new prices for the 5% at the register.
It's going to benefit the consumer. It's a comprehensive list. It's on prepared food and, it includes, what we use every day.
Over on Rocksound, Eleuthera, owner of the market at the marketplace, Thomas Sands, and his team were busy today preparing for tomorrow's new tax rate. Mr. Sands, who's also the president of the Eleuthera Chamber of Commerce, feels that while food prices may be going down, the actual cost of food will still remain high. He's optimistic the new rate will make a difference in the business community on the island.
I think that Bahamians welcome it. We were a little bit concerned how complicated it would be because you're now talking about in a supermarket various line items, and in the grocery business you're talking about thousands of items, right? And so some of these things may sound easy, but they are more complicated to implement, especially if people don't have as sophisticated software.
Tonight, a major step forward in disaster preparedness for Abaco. After years of delays, the island's long-awaited hurricane shelter in Central Pines is nearing completion. This ahead of the 2025 hurricane season. Our Devontae Hanna has the latest.
It's a project that's been years in the making, and now the state-of-the-art hurricane shelter in Central Pines, Abaco, is set to open this year.
I expect this to be open before or in time for the hurricane season, which means that it should be complete by the end of May.
Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis confirmed this much following a tour of the facility on Friday. The shelter's cost during the groundbreaking in December 2020 was pegged at $1.4 million, but has since mushroomed to $4 million due to several delays and structural issues. The final budget yet to be revealed.
With the onslaught of climate change and how we are having so many hurricanes each year, the intensity of those hurricanes, I don't know that I could concern myself that we are spending too much money to get a result such as this.
The Prime Minister says at the moment the cost is not a concern of his. This as he says the shelter will double as a community centre once completed.
The concern is to ensure that lives are saved and livelihoods are protected.
As he toured the facility, Mr. Davis revealed he is pleased to see the work already done.
Bahamians are building this, and I'm always proud to see the product of our Bahamian ingenuity and skill.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Devontae Hanna.
Thank you, Devontae. Health Minister the Honorable Michael Darville today providing an update on that recent action healthcare workers staged here in the capital. As widely reported, the vast majority of junior doctors and a percentage of senior doctors and nurses called in sick, forcing the closure of clinics.
I would like to see this matter resolved sooner than later, but from my understanding, things are progressing. I do not think it's completely resolved, but my last communication with the minister responsible, I was reassured that they are back at the table addressing their concerns.
Meanwhile, a day for doctors and their dedication to their respective practices. Daniel Dean, in her Health Matters feature this evening, focuses on a less common consideration. Doctors take care of us, but who takes care of them?
Even though you may have problems of your own, you have to push that aside and deal with their many varied problems.
This the reality for many doctors and healthcare providers across the country, including Dr. Narad Morgan, Clinical Medical Officer with the Ministry of Health's Department of Immunology and Infectious Diseases. But while doctors like Morgan are taking care of everyone around them, who is taking care of doctors? Minister the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville remembers the coronavirus taking out not only patients, but physicians in the line of duty.
Coming out of COVID-19, a lot has happened. So we lost some of our physicians as a result of on-the-job activities. And today we just want to big them up and to tell them how much we appreciate them in the Department of Public Health.
Taking on a different daily challenge, Dr. Hastings Johnson, Senior Medical Officer at the Bahamas Department of Corrections. He details the balance needed to lead with compassion while still exercising caution with inmates who may not always find their way to the prison's medical facility truthfully.
One of the first things we have to rule out is what we call Munchausen. Is this person really ill, or are they just trying to get out of their cell? And for me, you know, you have to be understanding. I've been there now for about 16 years. And so, you know, you have to make them feel comfortable enough to talk and to see what's going on, because that's how you prevent yourself from having to go back at 3 o'clock in the morning.
The job is very taxing. It can take a toll on you, and you have families to go back to.
It's for this reason Dr. Morgan shares his tested and proven belief that healthcare workers ought to have recreational outlets for themselves to keep them mentally balanced and equipped to take care of their patients. This timely message that healthcare workers need to be cared for too came during the National Doctors' Day celebrations. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. More news in just a moment.
If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
The Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting is partnering with the Bahamas Christian Council to help build stronger Bahamian families.
I believe that our ultimate experience in living begins with God and family.
Our purpose is to facilitate, guide, inspire, and equip you to have a better life.
And a strong family foundation begins with each of us trying to become better individuals. Let's unite
for a stronger Bahamas.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, the heartbeat of the nation, leading Bahamians from dependency to self-sufficiency to economic empowerment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs hosting its inaugural International Scholarship Day, providing scores of Bahamian students with information about the educational opportunities available to them abroad. Head of the Technical Assistance Bureau within the ministry, Raylene Ferguson, noted that while her sector is known for scholarship assistance, they are responsible for much more than that.
It entails more than scholarships. And so when you see technical assistance at bahamas.gov.bs appear in your inbox, what does that mean? The technical work of this bureau encompasses capacity building, training opportunities, professional development programs, and exchanges, fellowships as well, but also national development projects, and historically has provided names and lists of consultants, materials, and equipment. And so that's a part of when you see that email come into your inboxes, it's a deeper initiative.
A life-changing weekend for many students as they explored higher education opportunities at the historically Black Colleges and Universities Fair. Colleges and universities from across the United States gathered to offer students guidance and scholarships on site.
Our mean GPA of our incoming students currently right now is about a 3.6 of our incoming class. So we look for students that are looking forward to have transformational experiences to come to one of the top 10 historically Black colleges and universities in the country.
This college fair is a great way for them not only to gain admission to universities, but to find out about networking and building relationships.
I feel very excited. I never thought that I would have went to Southern University. I wasn't too big on coming to this fair, but my mother encouraged me to come. She's like, you never know. And then I brought my portfolio with me, and then he saw it, and then he was like, you know, you get a scholarship on the spot, and I was like, no problem.
Well, it's never too early to learn about money management. Just ask Journeys International, who partnered with the Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union to teach students the importance of budgeting, saving, and responsible spending. Our West Calix Forbes has more.
Journeys International, a nonprofit organization dedicated to youth development, took a significant step in shaping the financial future of young students. The organization hosted an educational session where 30 students learned the valuable skill of opening a bank account.
We believe that training is only in their behavior or in their academics, but one of the problems that we have is our children, they're going to grow up to be adults, and they don't know how to respect money, they don't know how to invest money, they don't know how to spend money. Why? Because they've not been trained.
Desiree Taylor, a teacher at Stephen Dillard Primary School and Journeys International president, guided the students through the process of opening a savings account. They were taught the importance of setting financial goals and making smart money choices. For many, this was their first banking experience.
So that they can prepare for the future, whatever that future may be, because not every child will go to college. Some children will go to the job market, but they will have some savings to do whatever their hearts desire.
With a new target of saving $80 per month to be matched by generous donors, students walked away with not only new accounts, but also a newfound sense of confidence.
A truly inspiring initiative. Financial literacy is a critical skill, and efforts like this help to shape a brighter future. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Calix-Forbes.
Thank you, Wes. First grade teacher and senior assistant of the United Estates Primary School in San Salvador, Carol Allen, making learning an enjoyable experience in and out of the classroom for the 90 students there. It paid off recently as she walked away with the National School Spirit Award at the Excellence in Education Awards ceremony.
This award is honestly not just for me. This is for everybody. This is what we call a team effort. I was a bit nervous at an international. When I saw the list of the other nominees, I was like, oh boy, we from the family island. So I thinking now I'm at a disadvantage. However, you know, I have faith and I believe that something good was gonna happen. What gave me the edge was I did a sip and paste. It was like a breakfast. We did it as a breakfast form for the students here. I spearhead activities like the sports fest. I run the tuck shop here at the school. We had the K-Kids that was going on. We did beach cleanup.
On this final day of Kidney Month, we hear from one of many Bahamians battling chronic kidney disease. Terrell Carey was just 33 at the time of his diagnosis and has spent the past 2 years fighting for his life.
I was diagnosed with chronic kidney disease after experiencing symptoms like extreme fatigue, swelling, difficulty concentrating. At first, I just thought it was exhaustion, but after a whole lot of tests, I learned that my kidneys were failing me. I started peritoneal dialysis. Unlike hemodialysis at a center, this allows me to do treatment at home, which gives me more flexibility, but also requires a lot of responsibility. My best hope is a kidney transplant, and that comes with a long wait and its own risk. I want others to know that kidney disease can happen to anyone, and early detection is key.
If you weren't at the 81st Annual Red Cross Fair, you missed out on one of the most exciting events of the year. Adding to the significance of the occasion, Governor General Her Excellency, the Most Honorable Dame Cynthia Pratt, took center stage to acknowledge the outstanding work the Bahamas Red Cross has been doing across the islands. She reminded everyone that the organization is more than just a charity. It is a lifeline in times of crisis and a beacon of hope for families.
When we suffer destruction from national disasters, such as hurricanes or floods, the Red Cross is there. When fire strikes and homes are destroyed, the Red Cross is there. When the cupboards in the home are low or bare, the Red Cross is there. Through your Meals on Wheels program, the Bahamas Red Cross feeds hundreds of people, and oftentimes it is their only meal for the day. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, you must agree that the Red Cross needs money to carry out its mission.
Amajal Knowles has a look at what's coming up in sports tonight. Amajal?
Guy Jones with another monster night for the Dallas Mavericks, and a group of local parking enthusiasts, yes, I said parking, not parky, trying to get a local league started. Details of those stories and more coming up in sports.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exuma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is producing work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching our young young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that to be passed along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Riding a motorcycle requires a heightened sense of awareness, strength, and better coordination than driving a car. It also involves increased risks and more maneuvering skills. Motorcycles are not as easily seen as a car or trucks. Other motorists, particularly those who don't ride a motorcycle, may not be looking for motorcycles in traffic. This places the motorcyclists at risk, particularly at intersections. Here are a few tips supplied by the Royal Bahamas Police Force to ensure a safer ride. Always ensure that all persons are equipped with fitting helmets and other motorcycle safety gear like effective eyewear. Ensure that the motorcycle is licensed and insured and both license plates are properly secure on both front and back. Do not pop motorcycles, especially when on a busy road or intersection. It impairs your line of sight and your ability to swerve will be delayed. Be alert when riding and be mindful of road conditions, especially when overtaking. Always inspect your motorcycle before every ride to ensure your vehicle is fully operational, especially tires and braking systems. Be sure to be well informed about bike hand signals and other safety procedures. Along with this freedom comes responsibility, but all the risks involved can be managed through training and education. Let us drive safe and share the road. I am Corporal 3599 Camille Johnson, reminding you that safety is everyone's responsibility.
We seem to remember our athletes when they make us proud at the finish line. Throw a Junkanoo parade when they return home, toss them a few dollars. And then forget about them until the next Members of the prestigious Fourth Estate should never sell themselves to any politician. Instead, keep their hands and noses clean in order to publish or broadcast the unadulterated truth. Well, that's how I see it anyway.
Read as I see it, exclusively at ZNNSBahamas.com. New articles premiere on Mondays at 9 a.m.
Welcome to your Monday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports from the association. Ever since signing to the Dallas Mavericks for the remainder of the season, Kai Jones making his presence felt. Jones with another strong performance in the Mavericks' most recent matchup against the Chicago Bulls. One of the biggest surprises of the last quarter of the season for the Dallas Mavericks has been the stellar play of center Kai Jones. Jones, who signed a two-way contract on March 2nd, has been one of the bright spots of their injury-riddled season. The Bahamian center is averaging 14 points and 8 rebounds since the acquisition, but the 19th overall pick in the 2021 draft has also been a stabilizing force in the middle. Jones closing the Mavericks' recent win over the Chicago Bulls with 15 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks, and 4 steals in 31 minutes of play. Jones delivering arguably the best two-way performance of his career, continuing to make a name for himself as the fill-in starter for the Dallas Mavericks. While his production has made a lot of people sit up and take notice, there's a chance his run could come to an end soon, with centers Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively set to return from injury. In track news, the ageless wonder defying father time yet again. Olympian Tim Munning shattering the men's Masters 55 to 59 400-meter record on Sunday at the World Masters World Indoor Championships in Gainesville, Florida. Munning's winning goal and setting the new record in 52.82 seconds, proving he still has what it takes to compete at a very high level, duplicating the feat he accomplished in outdoors in Sweden last year. The Bahamas coming out with 2 medals from the Masters Championships. Mike Umbrister won a bronze in the men's 65 to 69 long jump. Jazz Chisholm's 2-run home run and overall performance sparking excitement for the season ahead for the New York Yankees. The Yanks would blast the Brewers 20-9 in their most recent matchup. The game, an impressive performance from Chisholm Jr. as he went 2 for 5 from the plate. The Yankee second baseman made his presence felt early in the game. In the second inning, he had a line drive single to left field, setting the stage for a big inning. Chisholm's speed on the bases was evident as he advanced to score on an Anthony Volpe home run, marking an early highlight in what would become an historic offensive display. The Yankees and their new torpedo bats would power in a record of 15 home runs this weekend. And a group of local parking enthusiasts are trying to reignite interest in the nostalgic sport, holding what they deemed the National Parking Open Trials yesterday at the Roscoe Davies playing field. Organizers Jay Johnson and Ricardo Saunders.
Well, initially it started out as just a funny idea, like wouldn't it be cool if we had a parking league? And then as we kept talking about it, we just really felt like it was something that we could do that would be fun and nostalgic and just get people out.
Yeah, I mean, the idea was if international sports leagues could have pillow fighting and tag leagues, why we can't have our own, something true to us, And that's pretty much where the idea birthed from.
And ultimately, the pair hopes that one day they can get a league started.
Definitely. The idea is for this to become, for now, we've kind of termed it the unofficial sport of the Bahamas, but we're looking to develop this into something that becomes nationally recognized, perhaps regionally or internationally recognized. So for sure, there are going to be teams. We look to have various teams, various leagues participate and make this something big.
The thing is just driving home our culture and keeping our culture intact. So it would be a great initiative if we could get the parking league up and going, because it is a staple in Bahamian culture,
That's a look at your sports on this Monday. A check on weather when we return.
Here at Immigration Care Service, you can trust us, especially if you have experienced issues or problems with the U.S. immigration at the borders. We'll do our best to provide options and solutions to immigration roadblocks, so travelers can continue visiting the U.S. and residents can continue living their lives in the U.S. without worries. The best part? Our services are affordable and accessible. Take the mystery, confusion, and fear out of your immigration concerns. Contact Immigration Care Service today.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Dr. Gale, and I'm inviting you to be a part of a journey where we open the Word of God to receive strength, to receive empowerment from the Scriptures as they have been written. Get your Bibles, get your cup of coffee or your tea, because this journey is gonna be great. This is your day of victory.
I don't know, but what kind of cars is this parking? You ain't even know where to park? Yeah, just don't park in the, look at this way. Like you ain't get nowhere to go. Don't park, just don't park in the handicap spot. Yeah, that's handicap. No, man, you can't park in the handicap spot. I ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna be that long. Handicap spot, yeah. Boy, what's going on, dog? I tell you we shouldn't park here now. This way parking, bro. I tell you we shouldn't park here. Don't get one of these things. My bad big broke, and he got a sticker inside that say this mod though. We gotta move. This is a handicap spot. That's what we gotta move. But we gotta move. Don't we can move right now. Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
I have been coming to this island since I was 12 years old. It didn't take me long to realize the rich history it has here. When I bought this island in 2018, I fulfilled a lifelong dream. The goal is not only to preserve the memories I made over those years, but to make new ones, and to give others the opportunity to do the same. As we go through this process, it has become clear to me, we aren't just rebuilding an island, we're reviving a legend.
It's time now for a weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Royston. As we take a look at our satellite picture early this afternoon, the Department of Meteorology issued some severe thunderstorm warnings, and that was for those keys just to the north of the Abacos and also over North Andros, and that was as a result of some heavy thunderstorms. But since then, you can see those thunderstorms have now moved over the central portion of Andros, and the ones near the northern keys of Abaco, well, they'll move over the open waters of the Atlantic. Temperatures around the Farmview Islands this evening. Marsh Harbor, Abaco, where I just came from, 77 degrees, 76 degrees, 12 Key also at Freeport, Grand Bahama. The Berry Islands at 78, 80 degrees in Allenstown, Bimini, 78 in Harper Island, Roxanne, Eleuthera 77, also Allenstown, Cat Island, Black Point, Exuma, Camp Space at Andros, and Fresh Creek, Central Andros, all at 77 degrees. More 77s in San Salvador, Rumkey, and Georgetown, Exuma, and that extends into Ragged Island, Clownstown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Maguana, 78 degrees, Ackland 78, Matsutan, Nagua 79, and the Turks and Caicos Islands also at 79 degrees. Your forecast tonight, we're looking at warm, breezy, with a couple of thunderstorms, followed by a shower in spots, and that's going to happen later on tonight because we still have that mid-level trough, which is now moving eastward across the northwest Bahamas and should move into the Atlantic later on tonight, but some residual showers and thunderstorms could affect parts of the northwest Bahamas tonight. The low temperature, that will drop off to about 75 degrees. And tomorrow we're looking at mostly sunny with a passing shower as that middle-level trough will be well to the east of us. High temperature tomorrow getting up to 84 degrees. Extended weather forecast. Beautiful weather shaping up for the next several days, taking us right into the weekend with lots of sunshine during the daytime. And those the winds, well, they're going to die down tomorrow, but that will be short-lived, as you would see as we head back into Wednesday. Those winds will pick up again, so not so much beautiful boating conditions shaping up for you for the next several days. But this is that time of the year, that transitional period where we head into summer, from spring to summer. It's going to be a bit breezy, and we're also in the dry season as well. So take note of that as well. Temperature-wise, we're going to be in the 80s and climbing up, getting up to about 86 degrees, and that is very, very toasty on Saturday. Nighttime temperatures today will remain in the low 70s. Royston?
Shaping up quite well. Thank you, Basil. I know it's going to be very hot. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight at 11. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching, and good night.
At Tonic Williams Darling Highway, I'm Tijaro Hudson. This is ZNS.